Well, hey there, friendships. Welcome back to Curtis' Corner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Curtis. This is my corner. And on today's Movie Monday, we are going to be discussing a new film that just released on Netflix, starring Millie Bobby Brown. We are going to be talking about Damsel today. This is a twist on your modern classic, The Damsel in Distress, and we shall see how this plays out. But if you are interested in hearing my thoughts and my opinions on this film, then keep on watching. Before we jump into things, please make sure you are giving this video a like. I would really appreciate it, especially if you like movie-related content. I have some fun stuff heading your way to a TV, computer, or phone screen near you. Also, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so I know that you keep coming back, so I know I'm giving you the content that you enjoy. And as well, in the description box below, there is a link to my Patreon. If you click on that for only $1 a month, as low as I can make it, you get early access to all of my videos before they come up onto YouTube. You get creative control over what type of content I am putting out, movie related or makeup related. And oh yes, there is more. And you get the full unedited version of this video. You're seeing the pristine, the nice, clear, final cut version, but you're gonna get to see all the behind the scenes magic over on Patreon. So if any of that interests you, click that link. Show your support, I would really appreciate it. But now, let's just jump into this review. So like I said at the beginning, Damsel is a twist on the classic tale of the damsel in distress. Millie Bobby Brown plays Princess Elodie, and she gives a great performance as this character, showcasing her ability to change her emotions and allowing the audience to really stay hooked on her character throughout the entire film's runtime. Her ability to be able to show her fear, her anger, her frustration, her happiness, her sadness, all of that really shines in her performance in this role. However, with the praise that Millie Bobby Brown gets, the supporting cast of well-known actors are very lackluster, one of which being Angela Bassett, who I had no idea was in this. And I don't know if she was in the original trailer, and if she was, I guess I blocked it out. She is so severely underutilized in this film. Her dialogue was completely laughable, like very subpar, especially for an actress of her stature. And there is no way, given the script that she was given, was she able to sell the character that she was portraying to anybody. Normally, Angela Bassett is a wonderful, stellar performer, but given her screen time of only 15 minutes and as a lackluster supporting character, she really didn't need to be in this film at all. Now, the storyline that this film is going for is laughably simple. Good guy meets bad guy without realizing they're the bad guy until it's too late. That's it. That's essentially the theme of this. And with that, there comes the theme of, woman power and stick it to the man, all of that. But it just comes off as almost like a joke in a way. And it's not intended to be a joke. The premise of this film has been done time and time again. We have seen this damsel in distress fending for herself. Look at Snow White and the Huntsman, for example. That I found, while still not a fantastic movie, I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was done so much better than this. And like the tale of girl power doesn't really land well at all. It is boggled down with such a simple storyline, and the threat of everything, as intense as the threat in the film is, it just becomes nonsensical at times. How the damsel is, surviving things, how she's lasting as long as she is, all of that. It becomes just very not real. Like, it's already not real, but it becomes even just more so. The themes that they present in this film are very shallow. They don't hold any merit. Supporting cast, like I said, is very one-dimensional. Like, they don't bring anything to the table at all. Every single person is very underused and have very little screen time. It's awful. On top of all of that, there's no risks. There's no stakes in this film. Everything just keeps moving. Like, even a moment that's supposed to have this like sad emotional impact, they don't linger on it too long. It's just, okay, let's keep moving to the next scene. We have to get this person moving. So you don't get to feel anything for this character. And as an audience member looking at it, you don't feel the sadness that you normally would feel in something else that would have been done. And it's because we don't spend enough time with these characters. Now, the effects that are used are very stereotypical Netflix style effects, both practical and CGI. The practical effects are the better ones, but even still, with that being said, there are some of the practical effects that, because of the lighting being used, it almost feels not real and unfinished. The lighting, I found, was, for the most part, kind of incorrect. And it made the physical wounds on Millie Bobby Brown's Elodie look very pretend. And you could tell that they were very pretend. And the same thing goes for the CGI. The lighting is just, it doesn't match well. And then the main antagonist is this big dragon. But the design of the dragon, while in concept is pretty cool, the way the lighting hits it, the way it's imported into the scene, it doesn't feel like it's actually there. There are a lot of moments where it does feel like it's just a green screen background, and you very obviously see that. The dragon's movement feels very unfinished as well. They are very almost liquidy, if that makes sense. Like, there's no texture in some points. Like the tail, whenever it like wraps around people or is slithering around, it's very cartoony, and it looks like it's just kind of like stuck on top of the screen rather than being in the actual scene itself. And it almost comes off like a PS2 or PS3 kind of smooth cutscene. And that's not what we are expecting in films in 2024. Netflix, you're charging people so much money for your crappy service, and you keep raising the prices. You should be able to afford paying people to do a better job on your films. And if you can't do it, sell your company and bring Blockbuster back. Physical media matters. As for the fire design that they used for the dragon, it was cool in concept. But again, points in time, it felt super overexposed. I know fire is hot, but they were kind of going for like a liquid fire while also having just a regular fire all at the same time. The two didn't really mesh. And while seeing the dragon as it's getting ready, you can see the light of the fire kind of like coming up its chest and its throat and everything before it actually like expels it into the world. Because you're doing a liquid type fire, you're basically making your dragon vomit everywhere. Why? Why are we doing that? That's silliness. Silliness. And when there is fire all throughout, it's like when you see the fire itself, points of it are you have the orange, the red, the yellow, and then the white where it's hottest. That makes sense, but sometimes there's too much white, sometimes there's not enough white, and then when you see the glow of the fire on the characters, it's too dimly lit. It's not bright enough, especially for how close they are to the fire. They are just having this nice warm orange glow on them. Like, that's not realistic. If you're going to do a CG creature with CG fire, light the people and the scene accordingly. It's not hard. I mean, I can't do it. I don't know what goes into that. I'm not a graphic designer. However, if you are specialized in that skill, you should know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, get out. And if it's studio interference, leave the people alone. Also, the motivation for the dragon, dumb. So dumb. Absolutely dumb. Because it's like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I also don't really think that you should be watching this film because it's not great. But the motivation that the dragon has is, I guess, understandable in a way, but the way it goes about doing things, it makes no sense because it has to do with royal blood. And if a dragon can't tell the difference between your whole body having royal blood and only a part of you being touched by royal blood, something is seriously wrong with this dragon. Get a better villain. With all of that being said, I'm going to be giving Damsel a C-. This is not great. No. The film had a lot of promise, and to me, the film was just so underwhelming in so many ways that it made the trailer look even better than how the trailer's supposed to make the movie look. I would rather watch the trailer over and over again for 2 hours than rewatch Damsel, the full movie. So, hopefully you enjoyed my review. If you did, make sure you give this video a like. I would really appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button for weekly videos, along with hitting that notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Because if you don't, how else are you going to know when I post? You won't. So do it. Alrighty, friends. Coming up next week, next Monday, March 18th, I am excited to unveil to you my next secret project, which wasn't really a secret because I mentioned it last week. It is another interview. I am so excited with how things are going for me this year. And I like to do these interviews because it gives some insight behind some films and just kind of what the behind the scenes kind of actions are. And I love some good cheap movies sometimes, you know? So if you miss, I'm gonna create a playlist of all my interviews because now this is gonna be number 3. So I will add it into that playlist so you can watch every playlist I did. So back in January, I sat down and I interviewed George Danielson about his upcoming film, Mickey Mouse Bloody Boat. So you can go and check that out. And last month, I ended up interviewing Joseph Greenwood, who is playing Harrison in Bambi the Reckoning, the 3rd film in the Twisted Childhood universe that spawned and got started with Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. Now, next week, I am excited to let you know that I am sitting down with none other than Louis Santer, who is playing Tigger in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. I am excited. Tigger has been one of my absolute favorites aside from Eeyore, but I can never interview Eeyore because they friggin' ate him in the first movie. But I'm excited to sit down and have a chat with Louis and get some behind the scenes dirt, get some fun info, and see where his career is going to be taking him in the future. So be sure to subscribe, be sure you're coming back so that way you know when that interview goes up. Hopefully you're excited. I am. I'm ready for this. I've been prepping. Everything is all done. Now it's just a matter of setting up a time and sitting down and doing it. So I will see everyone next week. But until then, goodbye, friendships.